Ready? 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking it's a sign that the freckles in our eyes are mirror images, and when we kiss they're perfectly aligned. Have to speculate that God himself to make us into corresponding shapes like puzzle pieces from the true. It may seem like a stretch, but it's thoughts like this that catch my troubled head when you're away and I am missing you. And when you were out there on the road for several weeks of shows, and when you scanned the radio, I hope this song will guide you. They will see us living from such great heights. Come down now, they'll say, but everything was perfect from far away. Come down now, but they'll say, I tried my best to leave this all on your machine, but the persistent beating sound within upon listening. And that, frankly, will not fly. You will hear the shrillest highs and lowest lows with the windows down, and this is guiding you. They will see us waiting from such great heights. Come down now, they'll say, but everything looks perfect from far away. Come down now, but they'll say. They will see us waiting from such great heights. Come down now, they'll say, but everything looks perfect from far away. Come down now, but they'll stay. They will see us waiting from such great heights. Come down now. They will see us waiting from such great heights. Come down now.
Well, that was fun. I couldn't follow it all. Great ending. All right. Now, here's an easy riddle, so shout the answer aloud. What's better than one song?
Two songs!
Very good. Okay. 1, 2.
Where cold wind is calling and the sky is clear and bright, misty mountains sing and beckon
So we strive to build a community of people that inspire one another to live better, help often, and wonder more. That's our motto: live better, help often, wonder more. We say it a lot, and it guides us in everything that we do. Let's do the motto. Yes, we need a motto. Okay. Live, help, wonder. Oh, that was terrible. Let's do that with enthusiasm. Live, help, wonder. Yes. Okay. All right. Woo, now I have goosebumps. All right. Where am I? Our Silicon Valley chapter holds monthly assemblies like this. Our members also organize smaller group events called SMOOPs for building deeper connections around shared interests. And we aspire to create an open community where everyone can belong, participate, and make friends without advocating for religious or spiritual beliefs. So, welcome to our Silicon Valley Assembly. I'm Amy. I've participated in this local assembly since the beginning in the band as host and usually in the kitchen doing cleanup. Lo, these many years ago. So who among you is here for the first time? Yay! Welcome, we're glad to have you. Here's the robe I'm going to bless you with and keep you coming back. All right, so please keep your hand up if you raised your hand, and someone give them a high five. All right, if you're here for the second time, please raise your hand. All right, if you've been here a lot of times, give your neighbor a high five. Let's do it. Okay, there you go. Now we're going to hand it over to Ben Yep to lead our icebreaker.
Hello, everyone, and happy daylight savings time. Although I haven't voted against it. So, if you look statistically, this is the most grumpy day of the year. So, when I think of daylight savings times, I think of two things. Oh yeah! Or, oh no. Can you think of a time when you've had a time switch where you woke up and were like, oh no! Or, oh yeah! Shut up with your neighbor.
Today is over. I was like, oh god. I went to that survey and I'm like, I don't know.
That's what I've been hearing. I was lucky that I did.
Well, yesterday, my friend had like St. Patrick's Day party and I just walking around. And I'm like, whenever I go in, it's like, I'll walk in the park just quietly for 2 hours. So I did that with my friend. I did not see hours. Putting the clock in there. You have like two things You're probably awake all the time. It's been I don't know when you start like it's like, you know, a lot of my friends they here they have kids and I don't see them for 5 years. They have
The youngest
All right, wrap it on up, and I will, of course, love to hear somebody share. So if you want to share with me, raise your hand. Okay, so I will tell a short story. It's pretty easy. This morning I woke up, what? We're still doing this? I thought we voted against it. I thought we were not doing any more time changes. So I woke up, of course. But fortunately, I have a kid, and he wakes up at 7 o'clock every day. So, no worries. Anyone else? Okay.
Now 8 o'clock.
Does he wake up at 8 o'clock now or something?
Yes, it was 8 o'clock this morning.
All right, thank you, Ben, for that. So creative space is an opportunity for you, yes, you, and you way there in the back, to, let's see, where am I? To share a reading, poem, song, rap, little soft shoe, you know, and anything. So today, please welcome Jean.
Okay, this microphone seems to be in the right place. Last time I had a problem and it fell on the floor. I think I'm okay. I'm going to read excerpts from lectures that Henry David Thoreau gave on walking, which date from between 1851 and 1860. This is a transcendental essay that analyzes the relationship between man and nature, trying to find a balance between society and our raw animal nature. On walking. I wish to speak a word for nature, for absolute freedom and wildness as contrasted with freedom and culture, merely civil, to regard man as an inhabitant or a part and parcel of nature, rather than a member of society. I wish to make an extreme statement, or if I may, make an emphatic one, that there are enough champions of civilization, the minister and the school committee, and every one of you will take care of that. I think that I cannot preserve my health and spirits unless I spend 4 hours a day at least, and it is commonly more than that, sauntering through the woods and over the hills and fields, absolutely free from all worldly engagements. When sometimes I am reminded that the mechanics and shopkeepers stay in their shops, not only all the forenoon, but all the afternoon too, sitting with crossed legs, so many of them, as if the legs were made to sit upon and not to stand or walk upon. I, who cannot stay in my chamber for a single day without acquiring some rust, and when sometimes I have stolen forth for a walk at the 11th hour or at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when the shades of night were already beginning to mingle with the daylight, I have felt as if I had committed some sin. I confess that I am astonished at the power of endurance, to say nothing of the moral insensibility of my neighbors who confine themselves to shops and offices the whole day for weeks and months, and years almost altogether. I know that what manner of stuff they are of, sitting there now at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, as if it were 3 o'clock in the morning. But the walking of which I speak has nothing in it akin to taking exercise, as it's called, as the sick take medicine at stated hours, as the swinging of dumbbells or chairs, but is itself the enterprise and adventure of the day. If you would get exercise, go in search of the springs of life. Think of a man swinging dumbbells for his health, when those springs are bubbling up in faraway pastures unsought by him. Hope and the future for me are not in lawns and cultivated fields, nor in towns and cities, but in impervious and quaking swamps. When formerly I analyzed my partiality for some farm which I had contemplated purchasing, I frequently found that I was attracted solely by a few square rods of impermeable and unfathomable bog, a natural sink in one corner of it. That was the jewel which dazzled me. I derived more of my subsistence from the swamps which surround my native town than from the cultivated gardens in the village. Yes, though you may think me perverse, if it were proposed to me to dwell in the neighborhood of the most beautiful garden that ever human art contrived, or else a dismal swamp, I should certainly decide for the swamp. And then I have something else. Although Thoreau also says on Walking that, he says, "I do not know of any poetry, to quote, which adequately expresses this yearning for the wild." I'm about to read a poem. It's really a very lovely poem, and one that our board member Richard suggested to me, and it's worth listening to. It's a very short sonnet. Forest Peace. The sun shines through in shrouds of misty rays as morning light tints verdant forest floor, while distant trees enveloped in the haze obscure the distant hills I so adore. I wander neath the shaded canopy as birds awake to morning's early call. There is no place that I would rather be than here, blessed by the wonder of it all. I reach within the temple of my mind, where beauty can be sensed with clearer eye. I leave the troubles of the past behind as phantom fingers gleam and hypnotize. The wondrous joy of nature's pure esprit brings only calm and inner peace to me.
Thank you for that, Jean. I could see it when you read it. So, Creative Space is an opportunity for you to participate in our community, and we can work with you to choose a reading, a poem, a story, or a song to present to the assembly. So if you'd like to give it a try, raise your hand so one of our board members can get your contact information, or if you're not sure yet, you can write to hello@sundayassembly.siliconvalley.org. All right, so forest bathing. Doesn't that sound like one of the coolest activities ever? I know it does, yes. All right, it takes me back to my Campfire Girls days, and you'll hear more about that whether you want to or not. Our guest speaker this month is Kira White, Certified Nature and Forest Therapy Guide and founder of Forest Therapy Collective, based in the Bay Area. Forest therapy is a research-based framework for supporting healing and wellness through immersion in forests and other natural environments. So welcome, Kira. The stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's nice to be here. Thank you, Steve. Oh, I need to stand and be in the mic. Thank you, Steve, for inviting me out today. I hope you got a little branch. If you didn't, maybe somebody could pass them out. If you didn't get a little branch or a piece of nature, if you want it, just for something that we're going to be doing. Forest therapy or forest bathing is one of my favorite things to do. And so I'm so happy to be able to share it with you today. Forest bathing, they're words that can be used interchangeably. And it's not a practice where I'm going to bring you into the forest and try to have you talk to me about your mother issues or anything like that. It's really letting the forest be the therapist and I'm the guide. And there's many of us out there. Same thing with forest bathing. So on the slide up here is a beautiful picture with some Japanese writing that actually says forest bathing, which is also, let's see, forest bathing. It's also called Shinrin-yoku. Has anyone heard of that? Some people? Good. So in Japan, it's a very ancient practice, but it's being used today a lot more. And actually in the 80s, it was brought about that, of course, we know that there was a lot of autoimmune disease started happening and mental illness, and the government decided, what could we do? And they started bringing people out of the cubicles and out of those huge work weeks and started bringing them into nature. And the research is on. So So there's many books written, many things that have been talked about. There's so many things that nature can heal us. So I'm going to start with a forest invitation. I got into the practice because I had moved up here from the cement city of Los Angeles, and I moved up to the Bay Area, back to the Bay Area. I grew up here because I really wanted to have more nature in my life. I just felt like it was really important, and as I was hiking on these trails, I started getting out more and more. And as I was hiking on these trails, working through grief and loss and some other things, I kept hearing the words in my head, Shinrin-yoku. And so I researched that when I got home, good old Google, and found out there's actually an association that certifies guides. So I've done a ton of things in my career with education and culinary work and art things, and I've kind of switched gears, and I believe so much in the practice that this is kind of, I feel like, my capstone for my life. This is what I'm dedicated to, so I'm really happy to be here to be talking about it. In the practice, I bring people out into nature, and we do a series of invitations. Some of them are meditative, some of them are exploratory. And so the first one is a meditation that I thought that we would do, and Steve is going to grace us with some of his nature sounds. And so what I need you to do is just like get your imagination going that we're in a forest. Maybe you can use the picture behind. You have your branch. Maybe you can feel your branch or smell your branch. And I'm going to start us out on just a little mini meditation, if that's okay with you. Okay, so take a deep breath, please. Maybe you could find a comfortable place of sitting. Maybe you can release your shoulders. And this first invitation is called The Pleasure of Presence. And I'm going to invite you just to simply either close your eyes or look at your branch, or you could look around, just look around. So maybe you can imagine this happening in a forest. At this point, when we're doing the meditation, I let people sit or stand wherever they want, lay on their back if they want to. So if you could just take a few breaths, just normal breaths, just noticing what breathing feels like. And notice that right now, that you are within this thing you call your body. I wonder what it feels like to be in your body. Maybe you can stretch or move if it feels comfortable. Perhaps gently shifting your weight from one foot to the other foot, or maybe from your toes to your heels. Just noticing the body shifts. And awakening our imagination, I wonder how many worlds we are standing or sitting upon. How many beings have been in this exact place before us? I would like to invite you to maybe even see roots coming out of your body and sinking down into this earth. As your roots sink deeper, maybe acknowledging that this land has taken a long journey to get here. So I wonder what it feels like, rooted to this earth, in this moment, meeting this place in this moment. Now maybe you could shift your attention to your skin and maybe even feel your little branch and touch your little branch, or maybe just feel the air around you. If we were outside, I'd have you bend down and touch the earth. And I would ask you the question, what does it feel like to hold a mountain in your hand? And then I would ask for you to smell the forest. So maybe you can imagine the last time you were in the forest. What did it smell like? What did it smell like this morning when you walked outside your door? Did you notice? Now shifting our attention to our ears and the nature sounds, I wonder what that place sounds like. I wonder what sounds you can hear far away, what sounds you can hear close. And I invite you to hear your own breath, just letting it blend with the music around us. And at this point in this invitation, I would have people turn a direction in the forest they wanted to be. So maybe you can use your imagination here. If you were in a forest, where would you turn? Maybe to a stream or to a mountain. And when you find that imaginary direction, maybe you could place your hand over your heart. Just feeling what it's like to have a heart. I wonder what it feels like to have your heart. I wonder what it might be reaching out toward. Now in a moment, I'm going to have you open your eyes and come back to our room with your branch. And at this point, the question in forest therapy always is, not always, but most of the time, is what are you noticing? And our sharing in forest therapy is really light. We come back into a circle, and there's no pressure sharing. It's a council circle. And in the council circle, we come back and we share, and silence is powerful. There's no pressure, but it's also a playful, you can imagine being in the forest, we're surrounded by maybe squirrels and different fun things that you can bounce on, so it's playful too. So you can sing or dance as you share. And then after that, there's a series of other invitations in the forest when we're doing the walks. So the next slide, a meditation. You did it. The next slide is, I thought that a lot of times when I'm walking to the next hour, like we'll meet in a parking lot or someplace at a trail. I guide all over the Bay Area. I'm in partnership with Hidden Villa. So I'm their forest therapy guide, and then I have my own business where I take people out into the redwoods or wherever people really want to go, mostly. And so as we're walking to the first invitation or the introduction, I have people answer this question, if you would. Think about a tree in your life. Any tree. And maybe you could share that with the person next to you. Super open-ended. Just talk about a tree. Ready to go.
This tree came down, and it was
living anything, just sort of documentary. I don't know. I don't know, what about you?
We just recently had one of our big trees taken down because that was like great exercise. Leaning against our neighbors.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Of course, if we were out in nature, I would give you more time. Forest therapy / bathing / basking walks are anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours long, so it's plenty of time. But if they need to be shorter, they can be shorter too. One of the tree experiences that I have is that I grew up in, like I said, the Bay Area, and I had a beautiful walnut tree in my backyard. It had that perfect V, so that I could sit there, and I used to sit in that tree as a child, and I would wait for my dad to get home from work, and I just always remember like sitting in that tree in that perfect little shape. And I'm sure you have other stories to tell about trees, so you can continue after if you didn't get a chance. So I told you a little bit about forest therapy. What is forest therapy? It's, like I said, an open-ended nature experience. It can kind of be whatever you make it out to be. We do follow a standard sequence that we've been trained to do. And I'm going to be at the table in the back after if you need more info. This is my business, Forest Therapy Collective, and you can find me on good old Google. And I also, like I said, I'm at Inadilla, which is so fun because I was a volunteer environmental studies teacher there when I was 17 through 19. So I have come full circle, and the other day I got to do a forest therapy walk with some new interns. So that was a really exciting full circle moment. I'd like to do a land acknowledgement that the Native Americans that have come before us and stood in this same spot, stewards of the land. I'm getting the time thing, so I'm going to have to go fast. Why forest therapy improves your health? Connectedness? Compassion? I do want to read you one quote and then I'll stop. A greater sense of connectedness, for sure, the practice adds to that. Jacques Cousteau once said, "People protect what they love." A heartfelt, embodied relationship with nature naturally leads to a love of nature and a recognition that we are nature. This is where I did my training, Association of Nature and Forest Therapy. And this is my info. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it, everyone.
Well, I'm ready to go. So, oh yes, we have a gift for you.
Oh,
For coming, thank you. Homemade bread, I think. Yeah, there you go.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, wow. So at Sunday Assembly, we describe ourselves as a community. Now, you've taken your first step in joining our community by being here today, so congratulations. Round of applause there. All right. And what you might not know is that everyone you see here putting on our event is a volunteer. And I agree with Steve, sitting in the back, who says Sunday Assembly is very much an example of the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. Thank you, Steve. So what does it take to be more connected to our community? It just takes your involvement. That's a subtle way of asking you to volunteer. So, when you help to make Sunday Assembly happen, I think you'll find that a feeling of inclusion comes along with it. I invite you to look around at the different jobs we're doing and talk to any of us about how you can help out. So, All right, putting on the assembly costs us real money, all of which comes from donations. And you can help assure our future and help us do even more for our community by helping us with our expenses. We have to rent the space, among other costs. So please consider making a donation at sundayassembly.sv.org/donate. Now it's time for a song break. So break that song, man. All right, what are we doing, Ben? A class.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Inhabited people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Whether they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine till tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. One more time. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Well, I'm serene now. So, we all try to do our best in life, the universe, and everything. It helps to share our mistakes and our successes. So at each assembly, we invite a community member to share how they are doing their best. Today, Ben has that privilege.
Hello, everyone. So, tax season is upon us, so we will soon be doing our taxes. And I look back at my tax forms and I've noticed I've got some student loans. Now, I don't know about you, how many of you got that are student loans, but it is quite a hot topic, especially with the administration trying to have a student loan forgiveness, which has greatly benefited me in many ways. The story of how I have a student loan large enough to buy a house, if that's true, is because when I was an undergrad, I went there on a good amount of financial aid, and when I was deciding what to do with the rest of my life, we were going through a pretty big recession in America, and so I looked at graduate school, which is what many people had done at that time period. And so I looked at professional schools like pharmacy school, and then I looked at graduate programs for a PhD. And the professional school accepted me before I even had a chance to apply for the PhD program. So naturally, if you're already accepted, why would you apply? So I took that position to go to a pharmacy school, and the price for those things, if you look in professional schools and in universities in general, compared to inflation, have a disproportionate amount of increase. And education itself has been very, very difficult, as you know, because there's a lot of schools now going on strike because their employees don't have enough wages. They don't have wages, so they increase the prices to the students. Students now have a very large debt, so it's kind of been building on itself a lot. I don't have the answer for that, but I just want to talk about how student debt is, when it's a problem for a lot of people, because when you look at how our equity is these days, we can't pay off our student loans at a reasonable pace and continue on with life. Now, some people, great for them, they have a lot of success in future with their programs. Right now, the student loan forgiveness has halted interest, which is great, and has, in the future, hopefully, a $10,000, she's so small in Silicon Valley, but there's a $10,000 forgiveness for your student loans. If I were just to only do undergrad, which is what the majority of people do, that $10,000 actually would have wiped out all of my student loans for undergrads. For graduate school, it's a drop in the bucket. But for those of you who are actually have friends, family, or even impacted by student loans, this current phase of COVID, where the student loan forgiveness and pausing of interest, has allowed me to pay for childcare, which is a story of itself. But it has at least allowed me to temporarily get some grounding on my feet, and for that I'm grateful.
Thank you, Ben. So I'd like to ask you to raise a hand if there is something in your life that you're doing your best at. Now keep your hands up if you've ever been happy to tell someone else about that thing you're doing your best at. Sure. And you are the people we'd like to hear from. So after assembly, please think about coming up to any of the people you've seen at the mic today and tell us about it. So, whenever life gets you down, Mrs. Brown, and things seem hard or tough, and people are stupid, obnoxious, or daft, and you feel like that you've had quite enough, well, you could sing a Monty Python song, or you could quietly contemplate your existence as a being in the wide, wide world by listening to the sounds of nature. So this is our moment of calming reflection. Maybe you're a bit tired of the rain, so today we have a recording of the dry winds of the Kalahari. This was recorded by world-famous nature recordist Gordon Hempton from his album Africa, Desert Solitude at Bushman Fountain. So, Steve. I really felt that. Did any of you feel that? Oh, man. My whole face is now sand from stuff. All right. Next we have, so how was that for a micro vacation? Good? Yeah? All right. Next we have our Life Happens segment, in which you share interesting events in our lives with the community. This helps us connect with others in our lives. So here's Richard to bring us the news from you.
Thank you, Amy. Unlike Garrison Taylor, we're going to do this as a duet. I've tried to give Amy roughly the right number of things. So, let me get this right. Amber writes, I went to Disneyland. It's a small world. Ride more. I don't go crazy. Yay, Amber. You sound like you had a blast.
All right, Lindsay is visiting a castle in Germany for a computer science conference. Whoa!
Richard, that's me, applied to enroll in Medicare with just 2 days to spare.
Pushing the boundary there, aren't you, Richard? All right, Bill Baldwin has just returned from a 4-day users group conference in beautiful, wait for it, Burlingame.
Well, I guess he and Lindsay will have to get together. A castle in Germany, Burlingame. This is from Kevin and Miranda, who are sitting way back there, and there's someone sitting with them. Ryan Arley was born Monday, December 5th. He's now 3 months old, smiling and grabbing lots of toys. And even, oh my God, letting his parents sleep.
What a great accomplishment. Okay, I'll tell you the name at the end. I've been on several dates with a nice person, and I'm continuing to put myself out there, feeling joyful and hopeful and playful, Alicia.
That takes courage, I remember. Lincoln writes, I'm in full-on job search mode, looking at various opportunities. Interesting times. Go for it, Lincoln.
Okay. A movie. It's Woody. Toy Story 4. We have a new house and playground, and there's a swing set. Cool. Oh, Molly. Excellent.
Whoa, buying a house on top of everything else. Krista writes, David has been sick for 2 weeks. He's home resting, but he got a boatload of medications. Maybe meditations too, but we don't know. He got a boatload of medications yesterday, so hopefully he'll be on the mend soon. Best wishes to David. Many of us know him well.
This is from Raji. Our medical device startup just ran our first clinical trial. Yay!
Karen Johnson. I am having lots of stress that's affecting my schedule and my outlook, making it hard to focus on things. Karen, our hearts go out to you, at least mine does.
My friend went rock climbing and didn't do safety checks, ending in tragedy. Safety first and double check everything in life, please. Ben.
Oh my goodness. I will not try to top that. But this one is also rather. I didn't get a big raise, but it's okay, because it's my first year. Cedar started a brand new preschool, and he did not poop in his pants. Which for someone of Cedar's age, that's an achievement. Okay, go ahead.
I'm really not eager in learning new technology, but since I had to work with phones and pulling up videos and all that sort of stuff, my boss sat down with me for about 30 minutes and we went through it step by step, and I wrote everything down so when I next did the program that used that technology, I was on it.
Yay. Well done, Amy. Speaking for myself again, no, I didn't drop my tablet. Gravity did that. But this is in the random acts of kindness and senseless beauty category. A few days ago, I saw, it really was there, a Tesla, I think it was a Model X, repainted in Valley Girl hot pink. Now, whether that was beauty or not, you will decide, but I am sure it was senseless. And that's the news from our community this week. Thank you very much.
Okay, so announcements. What a horrible way to die. What a horrible way to die. Announcements. All right. All right, we have board and action team meetings, and you're invited to join the board. All right, and we have meetup events. So we have SMOOPs, and by that we mean small groups. We also have an action team to facilitate these assemblies. So if you'd like to join either, please check the meeting times shown, and we would love to include you. Anyone is welcome to bring their own personal diversity to the action team, and SMOOPs are a great way to continue building community. So look for Assembly, Silicon Valley on Meetup, and this is where you will find details about all of our events and sign up for them. All right, and wait, that surprises me. Okay, so anyway, you can sign up on any of the events on Meetup. So, stuff. You can read it.
Okay, do you want me to do that one?
Sure, please.
Okay.
I'm really not sure what to do with this slide, guys, I'm sorry.
Go back to Ozfest.
No.
Thank you. Okay, so imagine all of the things you love about Sunday Assembly: inspiring speakers, fun sing-alongs, activities to help us live better, help often, and wonder more. Now imagine them extended over a long weekend and attended by assemblers from all over. This is the goal of the next Sunday Assembly International Conference. It is scheduled for July 7th through 9th. It's going to be held in Brighton in the UK. And financial assistance will be available, so if you are interested, talk to me after the program if you're interested in going. Thanks.
All right, now I get to talk action. So, this,
What are you expecting, Amy?
I don't know.
Come to our next assembly.
Yes, do that.
Josh is going to be our speaker.
Excellent.
It's going to be great, I swear to God.
We believe you wholeheartedly, Josh.
Oh, I
about polio, there's not going to be any running this year.
So, do we have another slide after this? All right, well, I'm just going to talk back to it. So, pictures of walking in the woods reminds me of being a campfire girl. I know I've mentioned this before many times and probably will again. I attended campfire summer camps. They were located in the humid summers of the East Coast. I so do love California summer weather. So Campfire Girls was a defining part of my life, so much so that after years of trying to find the perfect profession to throw myself into, and the decade I spent as a computer programmer was very good to me, but I ended up leading school field trips at History San Jose. It suits me, it's fun, and I'm really, really good at it. I come home exhausted and sometimes aggravated by student behavior, but I keep doing it. I feel blessed to have this job, and I don't want to do any other, except maybe leading tours and hikes. Not too strenuous, mind you, since next week I'm turning a 2-digit age that ends in a 0. I like being an educator, and I like watching a child light up when they connect the dots in a history lesson, taste an apple right off the tree, churn cream into butter, make their own hand-dipped candle, and learn not to go all freaky when they hear a sound in the woods they can't hear in their city homes. May my and everyone's potential children and grandchildren have the good, adventurous, and memorable experiences that so enriched my life. Everyone should be so blessed. Talk to the trees. It's good to the soul. So mote it be. So, it took many volunteers to bring today's assembly to you. We have our presenters, volunteers at our action team meetings, our tech team who run AV for our events, our greeters who manage the front tables, our hospitality team for the refreshments, writers of our newsletter and social media. And last but not least, our amazing band. So thank you so much. A round of, well, you just did that, but do it again. A round of applause for the volunteers, selfless and unpaid work. And thank all of you for coming today. We appreciate the opportunity to get together with you in this community, and I hope we will see you all again real soon. And what's better than 3 songs? 4 songs. All right, here we go.
We have a new person joining the band for this song. Thank you, Amber. All right, let's hear everybody sing loud and proud. Float on. Ready? 2, 3, 4.
Well,
Are we here? Yes. A few reminders. We're a community and we care for each other in whatever way we can. So at the very end of the program, please stack your chair if you're able. And in addition, after the potluck lunch, we need 2 volunteers to help with the kitchen cleanup at 1 o'clock. Anybody can raise their hand. Can anybody raise their hand to volunteer help in the kitchen? Thank you. More than that is great, so join them too. All right, if you brought food for the potluck, please take it home or find someone to take it. Also, please put used utensils in the container to be washed. Now we're almost done. The Sunday Assembly motto the world over is,
Live better, wonder more.
it's what we aspire to during our assemblies and what we hope you'll take with you until we meet again. So let's all say it together again, shall we? Loud and proud. Ready? Live better, help